I'm Sophie, a music producer and entrepreneur from France. I've been running few music production companies in Chengdu, China for now 7 years. Chengdu is the real deal. And I am oftenly asked by friends living outside of China, what about Chengdu? What's the quality of life over there? It happened that recently I just put my hands on a magazine called Monocle.
Welcome, I'm Tund Relay. It's the first of these city series that we're doing. We're delighted to be partnering with Chengdu.
Monocle is a global issue magazine and website which cover affair, business, culture and design. And they had a very interesting article about Chengdu, so I took their magazine as a guide for me to go and rediscover the town that I'm living in for many years. Some of China's most well-known contemporary artists, such as He Duoling or Zhou Chunya and Xu Liaoyuan, were actually raised and trained in Chengdu. Chengdu has invested a huge amount of time and money developing eye-catching museums, as well as affordable studio space for artists and budding art fair that are actually paving the way for the city to become the country's Western contemporary arts hub.
This is Xu Liaoyuan's museum. Xu Liaoyuan is actually an old friend of mine. We met quite a long time ago. Xu Liaoyuan, it is not only an artist painter, but is actually also someone who's doing furniture, as well as someone who's doing sculpture. Art is never going to be limited at only doing one thing, and this museum is the great proof of that. Now, something very interesting about his painting and all of his masterpiece, there is absolutely no description whatsoever. No when did he do that, how did he do that, or why did he do that. There is no such a thing in here. Why? Because I believe this artist is actually more interesting into making us use our own ways of thinking to watch his painting and ponder upon it.
The second edition of Art Chengdu in 2019 saw a 50% increase in gallery participation from its first edition, and it has attracted international galleries from Seoul, New York and London.
This museum, it's a great proof of what Chengdu artist is actually able to do. They are rising the level up and they are finally reaching an international level. This is Xu Liaoyuan's museum in Shenzhen, Chengdu.
The melting pot of art in Chengdu are just like the bird songs in the Amazon jungle.
Chengdu Disha. And this is a very interesting book because it talks about Chengdu Disha, and right now, right here, we are in the Fangzuo library. And this library is something kind of amazing because, as you can see, we are actually on the underground of Taikuli.
Chengdu, it's a literature city. People love reading in here, and we can find many reading spots. We have poetry competition, and we have about 3,000 bookshops right here. Fangzuo, voted Best International Bookshop at the London Book Fair 2019, hosts discussion throughout the year inside its cavernous interior. A heaven for reader in the most interesting commercial area of Chengdu.
Reading is a part of actually understanding the culture of a country. Buying things, their legacy, their heritage, being able to touch it is also a part of it. But why would be such a big and unique library without its events organization?
An annual conference brings together bookshop owners from around the world. Drop by to get a read on how a well-appointed bookshop can anchor a busy retail development.
Fangzuo Bookshop, a great place to read book. As well, a beautiful cultural hub center where you can definitely buy the heritage from Chengdu. What's more delightful than reading a book while enjoying a coffee? It's a one-time stop place where cultural and educated people are going to have some good fun actually. Hey, what's up people? And I'm very happy to welcome everyone in here. This is a marvelous street in Chengdu. Actually, as you can see, we are on the riverside and there is a bunch of people right here just enjoying their tea, having their coffee, having a chat. So as we just said actually earlier, as you can see, this is Chengdu people. This is Chengdu Ren. The way they like to enjoy their life is just pure leisuring.
Outdoors in Chengdu must be one of the most interesting outdoor scene in the whole China. Chengdu has amazing pedestrian streets full of restaurants, bars, clubs, terraces, where people can finally enjoy amazing afternoon at a temperate climate. You can as well light up your day. You can have a cup of coffee beside the Fuhe River or a stroll in Taikuli crowded and fashionable center.
And as you can see, actually, Chengdu people are having a very similar culture as what's going on back in home. People love drinking coffee, having tea in the afternoon, having a chat with good friends, talking about what's going on in the world, as well as talking what's going on inside Taikuli. Because not to say, right behind us, there is actually a temple that have 1,600 years old of age. It's called the Ta Si Temple, and we are in Chengdu.
The outdoor in Chengdu feels like the breeze that you can feel while you are standing on the Seine River back in Paris.
Once we can actually get into the temple, there is something very interesting because entering this temple, so we are also actually entering a tea house. Seems to be this place actually. 哎，你好，不好意思，
你好，
我想问一下，你们是画这个地方是吗？
对，我很喜欢画成都的茶馆，
是吗？
因为这个地方历史比较厚重，所以说年轻人、老年人，成都人习惯就是喝茶
OK，
见面就喝茶 聊天
OK，
这样就过一下午。
我刚刚也看到你在画一些东西，能不能给我介绍一点点关于你画的东西？
因为我是一个老成都人，就是
本地人
对，很喜欢成都的民居，就是民居民宿。我长期在收集和画这个就是成都的老的建筑。你看这个就是我今天画的大智寺的茶馆。
Okay, so this is a 大智 temple.
大智茶馆，这个是大智寺。因为我长期画这个画了几十年了。
你们有两种不一样的文化在一个代库里，你们有一些古代的文化，还有很新的那种文化，很流行的文化。
它就是和现代艺术和就是传统艺术它一个碰撞，文化碰撞。
那我还想问，因为我走路的时候，我看到很多人都在外面喝茶，好像他们在打麻将那些，我不太确定，所以我问，应该这个是不是成都的传统的文化？
对，就像国外像法国一样，
对，
在街边上，
对，
成都人也是一面喝茶交谈，一面看外面来。
OK，
就是这个
很好，
过来的人往啊那些。
白天的成都和晚上的成都有什么区别呢？
完全不一样。因为成都的话，白天就是有时看到这个喝茶聊天晚上就是酒吧夜生活，就是逛街，也非常丰富的生活，不亚于国外一些城市。
And this is the nightlife in Chengdu. As we can see, actually, this street is an amazing street. We have a lot of, street shop in here, plenty of light in here, pack of beautiful and fashionable people, and we are on the riverside. So there is something very interesting that we can see about this whole Chengdu Nightlife, we can actually observe the blooming economy of the nightlife in Chengdu. And this place is actually a great place for us to understand how Chengdu is welcoming international entrepreneurs to come for people to actually enjoy a nightlife in here. One of my friends opened this place and I would like to introduce you guys to him.
And the most interesting point for me about Chengdu, it's the youth. They have such an appetite for fun. They have a population of students that is huge. They have more than a dozen universities here. Adding to the melting pot of a growing expat population, along with the city's innate musicality, liberal outlook, and general joie de vivre. An outcome a lively nightlife that extends long after dark. Bars and clubs do brisk business, while illuminated streets are alive with drinking and dining.
What's Chengdu nightlife?
I think Chengdu has, in the moment, the greatest nightlife in China. I'm traveling around all China, and I can see that the vibe in Chengdu is very different. Also, you have so many different spots. It's not really like one place like Lang Kwai Fang. Maybe it's a well-known place, but there's so many places. Just down the road, there's Playhouse. There's so many bars also in this street. We're having small bars, small clubs. So it's changing also from these big clubs into small, cozy places. And I have friends from all over China who come in actually to Chengdu to party.
And the nightlife in Chengdu sounds like the International Space Station.
This is Chengdu, and there are 100 reasons for you to come here. No matter it's music, Panda, fashion, or anything you ever wanted, you will always find your own one.